agony, the pressure of being the last speaker. Hi, love. Oh my goodness. All right. That's 30 years ago. That's my 6-year-old self. And I'm pretty obsessed with making my 6-year-old self and my 60-plus-year-old self happy. Today, Mr. Pagulayan gave me a task to talk about what really matters in the end. I grew up in a small coastal town named Allen in the province of Northern Samar. Imagine a girl from the tiny province being here on this stage to talk about what really matters in the end. It is a huge topic. But you know what, guys? Before I go through my presentation, my talk, I wanted to just very quickly share with you what matters in this present moment. Because whatever is going to happen today will surely matter in the end. Would you guys agree? Thank you. As a kid, I've always wanted to be a speaker, to be in front of a huge crowd, while my parents watch me do it. So this moment right here, this is a dream come true of that little girl from Allen, Northern Samar. And I wanted to honor while I can. May nanay and tatay. May ninang Maidi. For being with me today, watching me fulfill one of my dreams. Ding! All right, so I've been clicking pala. This awkward pause will matter in the end. I'm telling you guys. Anyway, I brought with me a very important question, and I hope that you guys will take a pause, a few seconds, to reflect on this question. What would you think in the last hour of your life? I'll repeat. What would you think in the last hour of your life? May 21st, 2015, at around 8:30 in the morning in Muntinlupa Medical Center, a doctor knocked on our door with a very anxious energy. And I thought, this isn't gonna sound good. It was just few hours after I gave birth prematurely. The doctor said, Mr. and Mrs. Escorel, we are doing everything that we can to help your son survive because he's diagnosed with respiratory distress syndrome. And due to being premature, his premature lungs can collapse at any moment. The doctor continued with her explanation about what respiratory distress syndrome is. But at that time, I could no longer hear or understand whatever she's saying. All that is in my head at that time is this loud and painful thought. Is my son gonna die? If my son dies, I might as well die. Because the only thing worse than my own death is the death of my son. Doctor said, we need to do everything that we can do now, and we have to do it fast. And we need that tiny thing here. It's called surfactant. And that is the last shot that we have. And it cost 20,000 pesos. My dying soul at that time, I wanted to shout, wala na kaming pera. Ubus na. Ubus na. I don't have 20,000 pesos right now, and I don't know where I can get 20,000 pesos. So it's sounding like, dahil sa wala akong 20 mil, mawawalan ako ng anak. The doctor left, and there I was on that room with my Ate Dina and my tatay. I broke down so bad. I think that's the first time that I ever broke down and hated God. I said, "Ba't ang anak ko pa? You know, you can just get me. I've lived a terrible life. You can just get me, not my Samuel." That's my boy right there, inside the incubator, hopeless. We were so hopeless. Carlo and I were so hopeless. We didn't know what to do. One day, we got a news that the surfactant did good, and that Samuel reacted positively to that surfactant. And we got that news that he's out of the danger zone. At that time, I remember having a conversation with God, despite me questioning Him. Have I been that bad for you to punish me? And if you're gonna punish me, why my son? Ako na lang. But I spoke with Him. I knelt down and I said, you know, God, I know you're trying to tell me something. You're trying to teach me something. There's something that you want to tell me. So tell me, what is it? What is it? Because it's been days that I couldn't hand Samuel, that I couldn't touch him, that I couldn't carry him in my hands. It's been days already. And the sound of that ventilator, it's deafening. So I've had a close encounter of life and death, 21 days inside neonatal intensive care unit. It's the kind of death that's worse than my own. So that question, God, what do you want me to do? Really, just tell me now. I'm really gonna do it. There were no answers for sure. But I've had a thought in my head. What is it? What is it? You tell me now, I'm really gonna do it. 21 days inside that incubator, my life was transformed. Everything changed. One day, I was sitting next to Samuel. I was holding his tiny hands. And I was singing. I was extremely exhausted that time. Galing ako ng PCSO. Nanghingi ng tulong. I went back to the hospital. I opened the incubator and touched his hands. And I was singing my favorite song, I Am a Child of God. And I begged God, I begged my son to give me just one single sign of hope. I was so near of killing myself. I said, Sam, can you just open your eyes? It's been a few days. I haven't seen your eyes yet. And he did. That very day, I made a pact with myself that I'm never ever gonna be broke again. I said, God, I'm gonna spend the rest of my life worthy of such miracle. Motherhood, I tell you guys, it had its power of dreaming bigger things beyond myself. That's what it did to me. So each time I encounter the question, Coach D, what's your superpower? Without a single thought, I'd say, I'm a mom, and you never underestimate the love inside of me. After we got out of the hospital, I started to dream bigger things for myself, my son, and my family. In 2016, I remember having that night. Sam was sleeping, and Carlo was in Alabang. He was working night shift. I said, I wanted to get out of this apartment so bad. I said, I wanted to have a home that I can call my own. I no longer want to rent. I want Samuel to enjoy a home. And just like myself, yung binigay na bahay sa akin ng aking magulang, that's what I wanted for Sam as well. My parents worked so hard for us to grow up in a home that we really call our own. And that I said, you know that I have my own son, dapat yun din yung maibigay ko sa anak ko. Yun yung binigay na magulang ko. So dapat ganun din, no? And that obsession never left my brain. I said I wanted to have our own car so that whenever someone gets sick in the family, we can easily go to the hospital comfortably. Hindi na yung takot ka in the middle of the night. You have a kid who has asthma. And at that time, Samuel has an asthma. Ayoko yung nai-imagine ko na lalabas ako ng apartment namin, maghahanap ng tricycle sa labas. And so I wanted that car. It's not the car for luxury. It's for comfort. It's the convenience. And then I said, I wanted to travel at least 3 times in a year. Because as a child, my favorite memory as a child is going to Mambog, Pinabakdaw, in summer. And Tatay would always bring us to my lolo and lola in Mambog. And so I said, I wanted to give that to Samuel as well. I wanted to create memories for him so that when he grows up, he's gonna remember that we've had those travels. But here's the problem, everybody. I don't know how. Ayokong bumalik ng call center. Ayokong iwan yung anak ko. I don't know how. I have the clear vision in my head of what my dream family looks like, feels like, and sounds like. Best of all, I wanted happy mornings. I wanted happy, peaceful mornings where all of us are just smiling. Hindi yung umaga gigising ka, stress ka. Kasi ang dami mong utang, ang dami mong bayarin. I don't want that. I want a better life. Not just for myself, but for the rest of my family. I don't know if it's a strike of luck, suenerte, #blessed, I don't know. But sometime in 2017, I came across a webinar of a tattooed guy named John Pagulayan. He talks about 7 phases of a 7-figure freelance business. He said, I wanted to change the landscape of Philippine freelancing. And to me, that was such a bold statement. He has that vision of one day the word freelancing will be under the same breath as doctors, lawyers, engineers, because it deserves to be so. He said, I wanted to help Filipino freelancers to charge premium despite not having case studies, portfolio, or experience. And that to me, I was struck sick by the thought of it. I said, so ako wala akong experience, may pag-asa ako? Parang hindi. Sounds like a scam. But you know what? At that point, I had nothing. Baka nga 20 pesos lang yung laman ng wallet ko. I have nothing to lose. I have time. And so I paid attention. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna shut off all the questions, the hesitations in my head about this tattooed guy. I said, I'm gonna listen. I'll pay attention. So I got a paper and a pen. I took notes of everything he shared, freely, by the way, freely. And started implementing all that I can do at that time. So from that webinar up until this very moment, everything that I've dreamed of for my family, they all came true. And I couldn't believe it. Really. I can't even believe I'm standing here on this stage. The time when I said I wanted to have a home that we can call our own, 4 years after, I've acquired 3 real estate properties because of freelancing. Owned a car, secured life and health insurances, traveled every quarter, took my family on multiple vacations without having to worry. Baka mawala na rin naman ako ng pera. Thanks to freelancing. Thanks to this guy, by the way. And thank you to myself because hindi ako nagpa-scam sa limiting beliefs ko at that time. I knew what I wanted for myself and for my family, and I took action. Now, seems like a pretty good life. And really, I am deeply grateful for everything that happened. Hi, B. But one night, I was having a terrible back pain. And out of this world anxiety that I couldn't sleep because of that back pain. And the thought of dying just visited me out of nowhere. That intense pain brought me back to that memory in Muntinlupa Medical Center. And I started reflecting on the life that I've been living. It's not bad. In fact, it's the dream life already. So I thought that was it. I thought achieving the goals that I have for myself, that car, that house, that insurances, that investments, I thought that was it. Until this. Jim Carrey said, I think everybody should get rich and famous and do everything they ever dreamed of so they can see that it's not the answer. Irony. Life's irony.
Happy New Year! Maraming salamat sa mga naitutulong mo kay Image. Kasi masaya-masaya ang aming Pasko, itong Paskong ito. Kaya, thank you very much. At napakadaming natutulong. Hi, Dina! Happy New Year!
I thought that was it. That's Tita Violi, the mother of Mitch, a dear friend of mine, and currently the operations manager of Samuel Digital, the digital marketing company that I own. Tita Violi died last year in the midst of pandemic. That was her last Christmas, her last New Year. And I remember getting that video from her January 2. Doon ako napaisip. You know, freelancing isn't just about fulfilling my own desires. The opportunity to start, build, and scale a business, it means a whole lot more. And not just for my own selfish pleasure. I got this message from a mother, a single mom, with a single child. When I first met Vanessa, she said, Coach D, My name is Vanessa. I am a single child of a single mom. That very day, I made a promise with myself that I'm going to coach this person, and their life will be in a much, much better place. So getting this message that says, "Trinit ako ng anak ko, day," I had a blessed birthday celebration. It meant the world to me. Just a few months ago, I celebrated my birthday. I turned 36 years old. And like I said, that is literally my 6-year-old self. And I got this message from my mother saying, "Thank you also for being an angel to us." You guys have no idea what this message meant to me. I worked my whole damn life to get that appreciation from my mother. I've always longed to feel that approval from her. And if you ask me, "Dina, do you consider yourself successful?" Yes, I am fucking successful. That photo came true. I'm now an angel, despite of the mistakes I did my whole life. So you ask me now, what really matters in the end? I think what matters in the end is that all of us here in this room, we have the opportunity to pursue our dreams, our goals. Every day we have the tiny decision that we make so that the time we lay on our deathbed, we get to think, is that a life worth living? Or will that be an hour of flashback of regrets? I could have done this. I could have done that. I think that would be the worst last hour of your life. And so I hope by now, as we go out of this theater, we really get to reflect, what would you think in the last hour of your life? What would you think in the last hour of your life? Let me share you my answer to that. If I die, I'm really gonna die happy. And I'm gonna tell myself, "Girl, that was a sweet, good life." Because of that pact that I promised myself, my son, my God, that I'm going to spend the rest of my day worthy of such miracle. And that miracle is motherhood. What would you think in the last hour of your life? I think we already know the answer. Yeah? Yeah? The only remaining question is, are you really ready to listen to that answer? And finally, do something about it. My name is Dina. A mom, a wife, a CEO, a daughter, a sister. Thank you all for coming to Tribex. Hey, baby.